As devolution enters its 10th year of implementation, 7 governors and 1 deputy governor have been subjected to impeachment motions, whereas 2 governors were edged out of office after the Senate upheld their impeachment. 5 others were saved by the Senate and, in some cases, the courts. The impeachment process has, however, remained a thorny subject, with a section of governors terming it as a weapon by their political nemesis to settle scores, while others have hailed it as a necessity to ensure accountability. Wycliffe Okech examines how Article 96 of the Constitution has kept county bosses on their toes.
As the devolution conference entered its third day Thursday, a section of governors expressed mixed feelings on the effectiveness of Article 96 of the Constitution in holding the county executive accountable, with the majority of the view that impeachment processes are a recipe for political mischief.
I'm not worried about it at all, because the reason you have the provision of protecting counties and Article 96 was exactly this, because some impeachments will be political. The impeachment of Governor Wambora was political, legal. The legal part sorted out the issue, and it's also sorted out the politics. Mwangaza's was political. It was dealt with both legally and politically. The impeachment of Sonko and Waititu was also political. So it is a mixture of things.
Article 96 of the Constitution outlines the grounds for the removal of governors through an impeachment motion introduced at the County Assembly and canvassed in the Senate to offer checks and balances.
And for your audience, thanks for the patience.
Checks and balances, they say, could be abused. Former Embu Governor Martin Wambora made history as the first governor to be impeached by the County Assembly, and his impeachment upheld by the Senate barely 2 years after he was elected into office. The courts, however, handed him a political lifeline by declaring his impeachment null and void. He went ahead to secure a second term as governor. His impeachment process not only provided the litmus test for the Senate, but also brought to the fore the need to ensure county governance passed the fit and proper test. It offered lessons to county assemblies and the Senate in handling impeachment cases. Other governors who survived impeachment at the Senate include Anne Waiguru, Kawira Mwangaza, Mohamed Abdi, and Paul Chepkwony. Ferdinand Waititu and Mike Mbuve Sonko were, however, edged out of office after the Senate upheld their impeachment. Devolution stakeholders opine that such motions are often politically instigated rather than supported by the law.
Impeachments eventually, just like Parliament, is a question of numbers. So once it meets the threshold, that's it, the 2/3. And if 2/3 are voting, then it means there's a problem. So it also informs us now as governors to be able to continuously engage our members of county assembly so that we don't get to that level.
Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr., who initially served as the senator for Makueni before he was elected governor, is advocating for a balance between the legislature and executive in terms of revenue allocation.
We will continue fighting to ensure that assemblies are independent. That is where the problem comes in. So that then governors, instead of giving county assemblies the resources that they need, we hold them back so that we force them to something they don't want. So the law must create a balance so that they continue oversighting us.
His Busia counterpart, Dr. Paul Otuoma, however, believes that motions of impeachment could not be witnessed if county bosses relied on their technical advisors while dispensing their leadership mandates.
So those things need to be looked into so that when it comes to monetary and financial issues, there's discipline, there's technical issues, and even political decisions must be based on proper advisory from the technical teams that this is what we can and this is what we cannot do.
Otuoma is further urging for a clear distinction between politics and the law in governance if devolution is to work effectively.
Continuous engagement between governors and their corresponding county assemblies has been touted as one of the solutions to the push and pull between the two independent arms of government that has often led to impeachment motions against the county bosses. Reporting for Channel 1 from the Devolution Conference in Uasin Gishu County, I am Wycliffe Okech.